Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik again, and this is a game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition. This is my play-by-email match against Xargun. He's Allied Commander, and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is Scenario 1, game version 26B, all standard stock. This is now the, at least so far, the last turn of Xargun. Originally he asked, or surrendered and said he's busy and other stuff and don't want to continue. But some days later he told me that he will maybe come back. He will need some break, rethink some stuff, and maybe give himself a little time to increase his motivation to continue here. So that is the status of this match. It's likely to not continue, or it will continue in first weeks or even months, I don't know. In the meantime, there was not too much activity. I tried to finish the Chinese in Kinko and use all my aircraft. You can see I inflict a lot of damage. There was an attempt from, I think 2 or 3 battles for Brisbane so far, but I maybe slowly get the upper hand. But I also was not able to, that was a little too fast, to take the city. So there was not really any big clash between this turn and the last turn I uploaded. And because my laptop was under repair, I had no really time to upload the other turns. So this is now, I think, the final attack of Kinko. I storm the city now. Most of the Chinese units are very weak now and low on supplies, and there's not a fort level left, and I can take the city. And because I blocked already all the roads, they can only escape now in the high mountains here in the north. That would be maybe the best, because they are totally out of supplies, or they escape, I think, to this hex. And normally they will escape to this hex because this hex is closer to the next base. The only option I had to prevent this would be that I keep here 1 unit in this hex, and then maybe in this hex and this hex, and then they would also be surrounded. But I think this is okay. Now they are out of the base. This is high ground. I have some casualties, but 2 divisions are disabled. They are simply tired. But for the Chinese, it's a total defeat now. So this operation was successful. Something similar, I hope, would happen sooner or later also in Brisbane. That the Allies are simply too tired to continue the battle and have to retreat. Goodie. So, first the check of the day. Air losses, non-existent more or less. I lost 1 airframe, but no pilot. And there was also no sinking sound, so there's no ship lost. I check first the map and then we can maybe check the final score. But again, the game is on hold, and I really don't know if we will continue or not. So I took Kinko. There is no industry, so it doesn't matter here. I take the base, but there's no supplies. Also my supplies are just consumed by this battle. So my forces are a little tired. Some are heavily disabled. Most of the divisions are disabled and low on supplies. But because I control now the mountain pass, I would say it needs me maybe 1 week, but then I have here maybe a better supply situation for the future. Burma, there's no activity. The Allies, I think, are more or less holding here the line. So the mountains are the area where we will clash sooner or later. But I will not intend to cross here the river. So the river is really where I wait that the Allies are coming and striking me. I must only defend here. Ceylon is stable and everything is fine. I can maybe make a short look at the situation here is that Kaga is under repair. I also upgraded the ship, so the upgrade of July 42 is also done. But I have to fix major damage, so I need still a half year. And in a half year, soon, very close to, I can also upgrade immediately to April 43. And this is the first upgrade really makes sense. I mean, this is an important upgrade. Here you get a radar. And so far I have here nothing. Yeah. So I will maybe finish the repair and then wait for the upgrade. And then the upgrade need also 1 month. So in May, June, I can use the carrier again. That was a very successful torpedo attack. 2 torpedoes, and I think both are critical hits. Nearly sunk the carrier. If it was not in the port, maybe I lost the carrier. The rest is fine. Dutchies Indies, there's nothing. A lot of shipping you can see. A lot of oil resources are moving around. I took Alice Spring, but I cannot really push more forward. I am low on supplies. I will build up maybe the base as a front line base. At the same time, I will do the same with Tenet Creek, so that I can fall back and that I have air bases supporting each other. And Daily Waters is the next, then Catherine. So I have a lot of bases I will maybe build up to fall back later on Darwin. Yeah, but they are all open terrain, so there's no really bonus to defend. So if one will fall, I don't know how the others will hold. It's a question of time. Here at Perth is everything stable. There's simply not really a way to. I don't must worry too much if there's no invasion coming. I don't think that you can walk down. I mean, you can walk this desert, but how you want support and supply your troops. So I have in every base a Navy Guard unit and something else to simply protect these bases. That there's no easy taking over by paratroopers or something like this. The most active area, a part of China, is here the Battle of Brisbane. I'm moving stuff forward, backward, let my divisions heal, and then I attack again and again. And the Allies are still strong here. Brisbane is normal, no defense bonus, but I was able, I think, to get the fort level down to level 1. But it's always costly. Still, I am able to get most of my divisions back for the next strike. So I could normally attack next turn or the turn after this. I must only wait that I get enough supplies into my divisions, but this may be even enough. And my divisions are also here with very high experience, all 90, around roughly 90. So and on top of this, the Allies' position is simply compromised by lack of supplies. So even if I don't win Brisbane, it will consume supplies, it will empty the pools of the unit, so all the Australian army, and I don't know, maybe there are also Americans here. They will, if I defeat here more and more of these units, they have less for other units to use them. And no real other action here around the map. I send out my cruisers, make some bombardments, and I don't know if here in Indian Ocean I have some submarines sinking 1 or 2 cargo ships, but nothing too important. This cruiser or battleship formation is on the way back. I was able to I think one destroyer and one cargo ship, nothing really too special. We had still no real air battle of India. There are night bombardments of Ceylon, but nothing really changing. In Tokyo or in Japan, I am struggling with getting here enough fuel for the industry. I mean, it's not that it's any shutdown, but I'm low on fuel with less than 200,000 fuel now in Tokyo. I normally want to have here 500,000 at least. Buffer. Only work for this. Maybe now the final score. So far, at least you can see I'm 6.5 to 1. So a clear victory. Not so much in the air. Advantage for me, I would say 1 to 1 is typical maybe. Ground forces, of course, there's a victory for me. There's more than 30 to 1. And ship losses are also much better for me. So you can see here at least the total ship points. Or I think 10 to 1. And ship points is 20 to 1. So air losses are in total for the Japanese, so for me, so far a lot of army bombers, Navy fighter, army fighter, army bomber. So I lose a lot of army bombers to flag or operational losses, and not really much more. I cannot really say too much. I can only see that my army and navy fighter pilot losses are equally, and that is good. If I'm able to use Oscars and don't rely too much on zeros, then this is always good. In scenario 1 you don't have so many navy pilots, so. And for the allies, the high amount of lost transport airplanes are very strange, and I never intercept them. These are all ops losses. Don't know how Xargun is running them, but 91 operational losses Skytrains flying over Himalaya or wherever. I'm not so sure if this is correct. But again, air war, I would say nothing too much to talk about. It's still acceptable. Ship sunk. So for the Japanese at the end, so far, wait, this way. I lost, I think, nothing again. I lost 2 fleet submarines. 1, 2, better to this. I lost no fleet carrier or support carrier. I lost no escort carrier. I lost no battleship. I lost no cruiser. But I lost 3 fleet destroyers, but only 2 are really important, and 1 is just so, but let's say 3 fleet destroyers I lost. 1 APD also, no AP, some cargo ship, but only 2 really okay. 1 fat tanker, better tanker, not really fat, but better tanker. And 2 fleet submarines, so very light air and navy losses. For the allies, again, this is of course fog of war. I cannot guarantee that this is all perfectly fine. This is a special submarine. This is normally a transport submarine. I was not sure that the allies have this, but okay. So you can really ship cargo with this kind of stuff. Wherever I sunk it, I don't know, because it's unknown. But there's of course some submarines, but not really too many. I would still say this is related to Manila, and but not so many submarines sunk in Manila, looks like. Tanker, of course, a bunch. Also oilers, but not so many. But I don't know how many oilers allies have, so 5. Is this a lot? I don't know. And the Dutch, I think, doesn't matter. Cargo ships, there are some good cargo ships, but I think cargo ships the Allies have unlimited, so not sure if this is really an issue. APs is maybe more in 42 issue. I think some good British and American, and the Dutch I think again I would say don't really count. But the amount of APs lost is good, but overall I would say it's a question of time when the Allies have a double, triple back. Destroyers, yeah, I sunk some. Oh. Cruisers, I was able to sink here a lot of heavy cruisers. What I miss here is the 10, 20 light cruisers. I only was able to sink here heavy cruisers. Not sure where. And I think the Allies have at least 20 or 30 light cruisers. Battleships looks... I was not able to sink anything. Nothing is confirmed at least. And for the carriers, still the same. 2 American fleet carriers and 2 British fleet carriers. But you need to wait 3 months, so 1st of September. Oh, looks like this is now confirmed, yeah. Yeah, so far the score. Nothing else really to talk about this campaign. Okay, maybe I can now talk about ship production the last time. So the carriers are... No, better this way. I push for the late carriers because they have the better technology. Because these are already end of 44, the best radar I would get here. And I want to get them done all in summer of 43, so that I have every carrier on the map in summer 43 if the Allies also get 10, 20 new carriers. I also start to build here my battleships now, so that I won't normally get them in April, because then in April I can upgrade them immediately with the new radar technology. So I can maybe use them in May 43 if I find a use for them. There's not much more you can get here out of the light cruisers. I built them all. They're all better than what you have normally. You have this okay light cruisers and only one of the really better one. Most important is, I would still say, carriers and destroyers, so push all destroyers. And I still don't build any submarines, I keep them all on hold. You can also see my pools are always around 200 or something like this. So sometimes I increase the building speed of ships or decrease them, but not really more to talk about this. At the end, this allows me that I have here now a bunch of carriers ready. What you can see here is only carriers ready, so if they are stand down shipyard, you will not see them here. But I lost nothing, so I have still the stuff what you normally have. Maybe a last look at the industry. So I have the H32 in pool with pool bonus if it's really necessary, but yeah, better you have it. The 33 is in pool bonus. 43 is coming and he needs some time. 43 have pool bonus 700. Here 500. So long I have over 500, I have the bonus, so that is enough. And the H45 is also already under production, so I now put more and more engines that I get the pool of 500 and then get also the bonus. But up to now I have no R&D airframe ask for this. So it's not for me super important, but I will simply go for 60 everyone and then it's fine. Air production, again, I produce the M5, that is already upgrade. I have already the H8 K2, so this is also the best you can get with additional heavy machine guns or cannons. I have already Oscar 2A, but this is nothing really too new. And most important is I would sooner or later, we are now already in September, so I'm very close to introduce the M8, the next upgrade. So I would have latest in the beginning of 43 all my fighters, I think Navy fighters, upgraded to M8s. That is an improvement. The A7 is still days away. I need more time. Sooner or later I would get the new torpedo bombers, that is fine, but there's only one factory so far very close to start A&D. Then dive bombers are coming, but only one factory is done, the second factory is closing. I could normally, I forgot this, I could normally go directly to the Y3 or Y4. Y3 had more range and I think a rear gunner, and Y4 have the 800 kilogram bomb. And more importantly, I would say is that I also get sooner or later the Oscar 2B done. And the Tojo need a little more time, but in the beginning of 43 I also will have the Tojo. And this is Tojo 2C. But if you really need both, it's hard to say. Because in scenario 1 you must maybe choose what you really want. So I took now both. If you need really both or only one, maybe better for to go only on Oscar or only Tojo. So in my other game with Azurop, I say I don't push Oscars, I only push Tojos. But again, this is of course other scenarios, so small difference in what to pick. Franks are still a little far away. Yeah, all this stuff needs a little more time to really be active. Most important is I get my better fighters, and then fighter is more for defense. And I get sooner or later my better dive bombers, that I really have a dive bomber can do something. Because 250 kilogram is a little too small. 500 kilo is much better. Good. Anything else? Maybe only have a feeling in Singapore I have tons of resources, nearly 2 million, 700,000 tons of crude oil, and also nearly 1 million tons of fuel. But the resources are more or less going automatically to Korea. Every 5 days 100,000 resources arrive here, and then so I don't must ship the resources. What I must ship is crude oil and fuel back to Japan, because here this is simply not working enough to ignore it. So what is working is if I ship the stuff to Hong Kong, then it's more likely to also arrive in Busan. But if I ship it to Hong Kong or ship it directly to Japan, I'm not so sure if there's a big difference. I mean, if I start in Singapore or Palm Bay. Good. If you have any questions, let me know, but I guess this is so far all I can say. Maybe one last check is the top pilots. We don't have too much air war, so let's say my best pilot is only at the experience of 86. And he don't really have too many kills. I have really here only 1, 2, 3 ace pilots. That tells you that there's not many dogfighting. Good. is not. There's nothing more I can really talk about. So this situation is stable. I can maybe check the map. I never know what the heck is the map. So there's a little Chinese. This is all high mountains. This is the Russians. The India is under British control, so everything is fine. There's one small dot base here. This I cannot take. It's a bug in the map. But I take New Zealand and this is fine. So, and the Australian army is under siege. I control the east, I control the west. I don't know how many cargo ships are able to sneak by, but I normally make navy search in this area. Then I have a double line of the submarines. I don't say that the submarines can detect everything, but I don't. If it's a big group of ships, I would say it's more easy to detect them. Then I could send my hunter groups out. If there's only single ships coming, I don't know if it's enough to feed the Australian army. And yeah, I'm waiting for some activity from Xargun. He once tried to take a wake here, but it was not working too well. So if there is the next turn, then we will see. But it makes no sense only to make 1 or 2 turns. If Xargun really want to continue, then we must continue at least to 43 and then see for more. Good. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.